There are runners who train, and then there are runners who live the work. My guest today is the second kind. She's someone who doesn't wait for perfect conditions because she knows they'll never come. Someone who builds championship level fitness in the middle of real life. She's a 100-mile race winner, an ultra runner who thrives when things get uncomfortable, a coach who believes that consistency beats talent and discipline beats motivation every single time. But what makes her different isn't the podiums. It's how she shows up. She trains in weekday windows. She balances motherhood with 100-mile goals. She wins races without burning out and helps others do the same. If you have ever wondered what elite mental toughness actually looks like, if you ever question whether big goals fit into a full life, this conversation will change the way you think about what's possible. Because this isn't about chasing impossible dreams. It's about learning how to pursue meaningful ones the right way. Today, I'm joined by my coach, one of the most grounded, disciplined athletes I know, and a person I am honored to call my friend. This is Melissa Henderson. Cue that intro music.
Who says you need to fly to reach the top? Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy the lie.
Happy New Year!
Welcome back to the Ostrich Running Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Miraz, and with me to start the new year strong, Jarrett, the Juice Horton.
The Juice is back.
Welcome back.
Officially back.
It's been
the last
a long
one was just
run.
an intro. You dragged me in on the
I dragged him in. He was still kind of dazed and confused, didn't really know what was going on,
Still
like a
dazed and
newborn
confused
baby.
right now.
Yeah,
but a lot better.
Well, today's episode is special.
It is.
And it's not just because this is actually officially season 2, episode 1, but it's special because I'm sitting down with someone who knows my training better than almost anyone else.
Wow.
My running coach, Melissa Henderson.
Let's go.
Melissa
First in-person.
Go ahead.
First in-person interview.
Yes, first in-person interview. We're going to do this great, ready to go.
Yep.
Melissa is an ultra runner, 100-mile race winner, mom, coach, someone who truly lives in the space with where big goals meets real life. So welcome to the show. Melissa, please introduce I was actually about to call you coach. That was funny, but please introduce yourself.
She's actually my arch enemy, actually.
We're going to get into that.
Arch enemy. She trains 100 milers.
That's why I am the separating factor here. So in case it comes to blows, I'll take them all, both sides.
I love her, but she's my arch enemy.
Welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself to our listeners and let them know a little bit about you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. And yes, I'm Melissa Henderson. I'm a wife, a mom to 2 boys, an ultra runner, and a running coach. And big goals is where it's at. You got to get outside your comfort zone and see what you're really made of.
Oh, yeah. And she definitely will make you see what you're really made of. Thanks to Melissa, I am officially a 100-mile
We did our best
finisher.
to try and stop you.
We tried everything.
And then she came.
My body
Got you
tried to
over the
stop
line.
me. You know, my
Family
friends
tried-
tried to stop me. Family tried to stop me. But you know what? Big goals over here. My coach got me through that Kodiak 100. And this is what I honestly say is great about having a coach, because I recently just had that friend run a marathon on a treadmill with no training, with no anything, no base. I talked to him this morning. He's miserable, in so much pain. And I think that's what a lot of this stuff is minimizing how much discomfort you are in after a big race. A lot of people can do these marathons with these things, but it's like, don't you want to have the joy for running after?
Yeah.
And not just be, I'm never doing that again, because that's exactly what he told me. He said, I'm never doing that again.
I was in worse
Exactly.
shape after your 100 than you.
We almost
And I
killed
didn't run.
Jarrett doing that 100
Right.
out there. So yeah, we're going to explore a lot today. Your running journey, kind of like your mantras, just where you're at. And we're going to let this thing free flow. But before we jump into that, let's just knock this out the way. Let's hear from our sponsors, us, Ostrich Running. Look, I've tried every electrolyte product out there, the super sugary ones, the ones with the gimmick salt, the tablets that take forever to dissolve. On a lot of these, they mess my stomach up. But Ostrich Salt, it's different. Simple. Just pure electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and magnesium malate in the ratio your body actually needs when you're sweating through mile 30, 50, or 80. I created this because I needed it. When I was out at Kodiak 100 running through the night, cramping was not an option. When you're managing 100 miles, you can't afford to bonk because your electrolytes are off. So I made something that works. No artificial flavors, no BS, just quality ingredients. And here's the thing, whether you're running ultras or you're just trying to get through a hot 10K without cramping, your body needs electrolytes. That's not negotiable. Now head to ostrichrunning.com and grab some electrolytes today. Use code SALTY6 to try your own 6-pack for $6 because you can't run scared if you're sitting on the side of the trail with cramps. All right, we're back from that little break, and thank you to our sponsor, Ostrich Running. Make sure you get that ostrich salt out there.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I like it, man.
Yeah,
you know,
Me too.
it's grown on her as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to tweak it all together and make sure everybody's fueled and has all their electrolytes the best way they can to be as successful as they can.
And healthy.
But let's get into this. I'm super excited. I'm so grateful to have you here. This actually could have happened last year, but I couldn't. We needed to do it right. We got the big lights here. We do an in-person interview. This was not to be an interview that was going to be done over Zoom
or whatever.
What do we do?
No. Got to bring her in.
Yeah, this one's coming in. And fortunately, she's local. So what did she do? She ran to my house.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
How far?
It was 4.6.
46 miles.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God.
We're going to get into it. So Melissa, you started running at 7 years old. That's actually pretty incredibly early. We were talking about it before we started this show a little bit. Some of the things that you did with you and your dad, which, seemed normal and fun at the time, right? But for most people, it seems kind of intense. But what did running look like for you as a kid?
So I would run with my dad. My dad's a runner. He's a marathoner, Boston finisher several times. And my parents were divorced when I was 2. So my dad had me every other weekend and a couple weeks in the summer. And so weekends with dad were spent running sometimes, and he would do these races and I'd sign up and do the kids race. And
oh, cool. So you were those little mile race in between.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, my dad's running this race. Yeah.
Yeah. 5Ks, 10Ks. And, we did some half marathons and
He never ran ultras?
he never ran ultras. No.
Okay. So, you're running for a few years with your dad. He's a big inspiration. What did that mean being 13 years old, watching him run the 100th Boston Marathon?
I'd never been to a marathon before the 100th Boston Marathon. And so my parents, my dad and my stepmom took us, my brother and I, to that race, and seeing the thousands of people running this huge marathon, 100th Boston. I mean, it's not just any Boston, it's the 100th Boston. And I just remember being so blown away and inspired.
Yeah. And as a kid, you get to go travel to a new state. It's a huge race, right? You kind of got spoiled in that.
Yep.
Centennial marathon of a worldwide.
I remember seeing my first race. It's insane. Just, I don't know, the energy and
Yeah.
What was your first race that you saw?
the Chicago half marathon.
Yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
really be there, not to see it on
Yeah.
TV.
Yep.
Yep. What was that like for you?
I mean, yeah, just running the first 5 miles, it just went by so fast because you're feeling the energy.
The hype of
yeah,
everything.
the hype of everything. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up with everybody. It went by fast. And then after that,
And then
yeah.
you were like dead at the end of it because you didn't have a coach.
That's true.
Melissa Henderson.
That is very true.
Okay, so you're out there and you experienced this, and you're running a little bit. But after that, were you, do you remember or recall if you were just telling yourself, "I'm going to run a marathon"?
Yeah. Right then and there, I said to my dad, someday I want to come back and do this with you. And so, he qualified a few more times. And then I finally qualified in 2012 for the 2013 Boston Marathon. And my parents' anniversary is in April around Boston Marathon time. And then my husband and I were planning to have kids. So 2013 didn't look realistic for a lot of reasons because it was their 25th anniversary. They were going to Europe.
Yeah.
So we actually emailed the race director and told them our story. And they're like, yeah, we'll defer you to 2014.
Wow.
Well, 2013 was the year of the bombings.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
In 2014,
So you guys could have
deferrals,
been there.
we could have been right in the mix.
We had one of my friends from like high school friends, not a close friend, but my mom knew her dad. They worked together, and he was at that race when that bomb went off too. And that's kind of crazy to even think about. You know, geez. And what finishing time would you have had? Would you have been around that time?
Right around that time, because I'd be running with my dad.
I was just going to say, yeah, because, oh my God.
We would have been right around the 4-hour mark.
You would be.
Yeah.
That's how much you guys have it down. Yeah.
So.
Wow. Yeah. The universe still does not cease to amaze me in some of the ways that it puts us in positions and things that we need to handle. And, you know, I think it's just crazy. So yeah, like, now you started doing marathons, and, you know, what did your journey after, you know, being a teenager, setting that goal, what did your life look like, and how was running a part
real
of it?
quick, did you do it in 2014?
So in 2014, they didn't allow deferrals because of everyone wanting to come back Boston strong after the bombings. So the cool thing is that in Boston Marathon 2014, my husband and I had a rough journey having kids. We lost 2 pregnancies prior to our oldest. Well, Boston Marathon 2014, I saw my oldest son's heartbeat for the first time at 6 weeks. So I wasn't at Boston, but here I had this miracle coming along. And so even just the last few weeks, my dad and I are still daydreaming and planning and trying to figure out how we get to Boston together, because time's running out. He's 73. Yeah. He'll be 74 this year. And
can he still qualify?
I mean, I think he can if he can be healthy and stay injury free. But he
runs often still. Yeah.
He runs and walks. He's amazing. In 2024, when I did Run for Kids 100 the first time, he did about 30 miles that day with me. Yeah.
Jeez, 30 miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you going to put him on a training plan?
I mean, I'll help him. If he goes for it, I'll be there all along the way, you know?
Oh, man. Yeah. So there's so many more topics that I want to touch. Yeah. But, you know, back to you as a kid, as you started getting older, you know, what role did running play in your life? I know you mentioned college and everything, and how did that form? So
I competed in high school and college, cross country and track. And especially in high school, running was amazing for me. It gave me confidence. It made me realize I could go after big goals, that I could do things I didn't think I could do. And it gave me this mindset of setting goals and going after them, which is just huge in life in general. It helped me in college to get my degree. It helped me when I went on to grad school and get that degree as well. So
using the lessons of running as like, you know, a structure for your life was just super important. What's the most important thing that you think you've learned that running has taught you about life?
I think running just shows me that, you know, I can do hard things. Like whatever the goal is that I think is impossible, nothing really is impossible. If you take the baby steps in getting there. If you try to bite off the elephant all at once, you're not going to get there, but you have to just take the small bites one at a time and slowly build. You got to be consistent.
Yeah. You know, and this is what I was just talking about with Jerry. Did I call you? Was it Sunday yesterday or something like that? Uh-huh. And I was just saying, I'm like, you know, because we were looking up the numbers of how many new runners of hundreds, right?
Yeah, that's
we were like, because for me, he said, he's like, well, you guys need to go meet the president after you run 100 miles.
I don't think we make a big enough deal about you guys finishing 100 miles.
And I was like, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot. We looked up the numbers, like estimated numbers. I think, what was it?
It was like, I don't know, like 10,000?
10,000, something like that.
Yeah,
but then
a lot of them are
new runners, right?
It's like 3,000. I don't know how many
it's
you
like
guys
40%
add every year.
of that. Yeah. And we were talking about like, hey, okay, so, you know, only the crazy people are going back for a second time, third time, fourth time, right? Or that's what his words, not mine. Yeah. Only you crazies. But, you know, I told him, I'm like, yeah, you know, the thing about that is, from what I noticed is, you know, somebody has a goal, and I think there's differences in people and runners, right? Where they're like, my life goal is to run 100 miles, and they go and they do it and they never do it again, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's those people who just like go out and they have a training block, because to go through another training block after you've experienced a training block, mm-hmm. it's kind of like, here we go again.
It doesn't get easier?
No, because you're training, you're pushing. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and I remember after Kodiak, you were so eager to come back and to start again. And I said, enjoy this break, because once you start, you're in it, and it takes strength, mental strength. And
that's the thing, is like to come back again and to go through a cycle, right? So we have our people who think about, oh, I want to run a marathon. I want to do this. And they never really start, because it just takes that initial effort to go through, right? Then you have your other people who finally get through that training block, and then they don't want to go through that again. And they're a one and done. Mm-hmm. They kind of do a marathon and that's it. And they're like, hey, what's next? But, you know, for you to go through and run whatever your goal was, a 5K, 10K, marathon, half marathon, 100 mile, 50 mile, whatever it is,
200,
and then to go back and run it again. And then run it again, and then run it again is like, take some sort of, that's like where I think the growth happens, even like exponentially beyond what you are experiencing, right? Because you're going to go through it again, and it sucks. Yep. And you're right, 100%. I was ready to come back so fast, and I fortunately had that injury. That was the only thing. It was like, I have no choice but to chill. Yeah. You know? Right. And just
why didn't you want to break? Like,
why didn't I want to break?
You finished this. Why not?
The high.
I think he was on a high. Let's get going again.
Itching him, like, oh man, I want that high again.
Yeah.
You just feel so amped that you survive. It's like the best way I can explain it is like after like the military, like some combat experience, you're like, ooh, oh my God, let's go through that again. Yeah. Like, really? And you're just kind of screwed up in the head, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, you're just so amped riding this wave. It lasts for, it's crazier than any drug that I've ever done, to be honest with you.
Wow.
It's a wild feeling. Yeah. So you're just amped, and your mind your mind will play tricks on you to get you to stop running 100 miles during the 100. Right. But then your mind will play tricks on you saying like, you're ready to go run 100 again.
Yep.
Like 2 weeks later.
You're on ultra sign up the next morning. What's next?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're like, hold on, pump the brakes. And that's why you have a good coach who can tell you, all right, just relax down. Yeah. Ease up.
You should not run on that leg right now.
Yeah. And I went and ran. Well, we weren't sure what we were looking at, right? It was like, is it just the normal post 100 mile injury, or was something really happening? And after I sent you all those pictures, we're like, okay, this is not.
This was not normal.
And then we had this guy over here trying to one up me on an injury and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, yeah. You were getting too much attention, so I had
to. We got to put an end to that.
Yeah.
But that's something they never talk about, is having a coach for after you finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The healing process.
I mean,
you need to recover. You need to respect the recovery and what your body just went through. I think you also forget how much you did during the training. Like, you forget how much commitment it took to get to race day, and you're just on that high of what you accomplished. And so it's important to take a good week, 2 weeks, 3, 4 after 100 to just really reset. And then, I mean, active recovery is great. Yeah. So walking, the first week I advise no running. I mean, just walk. You don't have to run.
Right.
Why would you? I mean, maybe by day 5, you're doing a 1 mile, 2 mile, something simple, but like active recovery is great and should be done. Yeah. But you should not be jumping back into long runs. And
Bree Santos, 100 miles a week after 100 miles. So I can
only run with you 5 days after you finish 100 because I run a mile. So
yeah, exactly.
So I want to know what was it like training Nick? Like, what is it like working with them?
Man, for Kodiak, I have not seen many athletes as dedicated. I mean, he was going through grad school. He has 2 kids. He's married. He has his job, his business, his podcast. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
And I would see green on everything but mobility.
And I tried.
I will not live that down.
Just cheat.
But that,
Let's put it on a dog. I tried to give him every distraction. Just put your little Strava on a dog. Let it do some of the race for you. Take today off.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
he was green for everything. I mean, even when he forgot his running shoes,
That's crazy. Yeah.
he ran them in Crocs.
Would you have told him to do that?
No,
No, she
I would
just
have.
said-
I would have said, let's do that tomorrow. Why?
Yeah, and she's such a good coach where she's not like, this is going to make or break you. Like, she knows what we're building, right? She knows that the work is a brick at a time and one workout isn't going to make or break everything. So that was like one thing that she made me feel a lot better when I had a workout and I was like, dude, I can't do this. And she was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to not do it. I was wondering when you would break
Yeah.
at some point,
Right.
and it was just, it made me feel a lot better about not missing that race, right? Or missing that training run. Yeah, Jarrett, what's it like working with your coach? Yeah, I'll answer that question now.
Yeah.
It's actually great.
That's
Like
gonna be
if you see him already.
Or
in.
why? Yeah. Why? What made you decide to go get a coach?
Okay, so I was very depressed after that DNF because I put a lot of work in my own time. Like
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I don't need a coach. I'm going to do this on my own. Like I can put together a plan. I can figure this out. Right. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I felt like I was good enough, but I went in sick. That's one excuse. Right. But comparing what I did with you to what I did on my own, not nearly enough miles, not nearly enough elevation or like training for the race that I was doing, right? It gave me what I've always told you, it gave me the structure without having to think about putting a structure. It's just like, because I'm so busy, I had so much going on. I just needed somebody to tell me like, hey, this is what you're doing. This is what it's going to be. And going into it, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I think you think, oh, you're getting a running coach, and a lot of us are ex-athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So we think of coach from our time of being a coach, like, run these sprints, run this out.
You're not going fast enough.
You're not going fast enough. So you think like something like that, but no, it's like a different, like, especially we're adults, right? She did tell me when we had our first onboarding call, she's like, what kind of person are you? Like, do you want tough love or do you want this? I'm like, I want the tough love. Like, that's the only way I go is like, so I was ready for her to cuss me out or something if that was the case. Right. But I was also saying, I'm like, I'm not going to get cussed out. I'm not going to miss the stuff. It just held me accountable. Right. It was something else, somebody with knowledge in a place that I've never been before, guiding me to a place I wanted to be and holding me accountable. Because I mean, look, there's people who get coaches and don't do their workouts either. I'm sure
that happens.
It's just, I didn't want that. To me, it was like, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in this opportunity. And I was so bummed about that DNF that I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to finish this next race and do this 100-mile. And man, we talked about, is it going to be Javelina? Is it going to be Kodiak? But she knew like,
San Diego was on the table at one
San Diego was
point.
on the table, but she had done San Diego. She's like, that's a tough race, man. So let's get you some elevation. Let's get you something cooler. We saw how my body reacts.
That sounds like it would be harder.
It's harder in certain ways because I think she understands what my body does during heat also, right? Like I'm a heavy sweater. I get pukey. My body, I'm not the best hot runner. I think running with you during that training cycle really helped because I got a lot better because I was so busy. I ran at noon at 90 degrees a lot.
I was like, what are we doing here?
Are we training for Javelina or are we training for Kodiak? But she knew exactly how to make my workouts quality and simulate what I was going to experience in Kodiak to a degree. I mean, you can only simulate. It's just a whole different experience when you actually go through it. But I'll tell you what, that race, my fitness felt amazing. I never once felt like I was out of shape or like anything hurt aside from the ankle.
Which is insane.
The ankle was the only thing.
And that was probably a rock or something, right?
Yeah. Ankle was the only thing, and everything else held up so good. I mean, you saw, like, the reason why I wanted to run after is because my body didn't even really feel too sore.
I know.
It's aside from that. So, yeah, working with her has been, like, a dream come true. And we've gotten, like, a good friendship out of it. She understands. Now we, like, finish down, like, what's the next goal? What's the next goal? And it's just fun to work with somebody else who has the same passion. But I want to actually ask this question is, when did you decide that you were going to be a coach or that you wanted to get into coaching?
So, when my oldest son was born, I was a stay-at-home mom. I had actually coached triathlons when I was doing Ironmans back in my grad school days. So after grad school, I coached a few athletes during triathlons and Ironmans, and that was a ton of fun, but obviously doesn't pay the bills. So I had to have a real job, and I got busy doing that career for a while until my son was born. And then I quit and I was a stay-at-home mom. And a few years ago, I was listening to a podcast and learned of the USCA ultra running certification. And I was like, man, this brings me back to grad school days, because my degrees are in exercise science. So I have a master's degree in exercise physiology from Texas Christian University in 2007.
She knows her stuff.
And you, baby.
and so I was like, man, I wonder what that would be like. And so I talked to my husband, and he's like, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I support that. And, so I took the course. It was super easy because it's all stuff I love and passionate about.
Yeah.
And, so that was the start of it. And it's fun because yes, I'm still a stay-at-home mom. But I get to coach and I don't have to do it for the money, which is amazing. I feel very lucky. And I honestly get more joy out of their goals than I do my own. Like, we're racing this weekend, and I
can't wait.
Watch Nick finish 100.
I got Nick, and I got another athlete, Trace, running the 50, and I'm more excited for both of them.
We're both, she has two athletes running the same race, and he's very fast.
So are you.
So are you. We're like...
You're guys going to try and keep up with each other?
I'm going to see if I can see him. As long as I have him in my vision for a little bit, then we'll be okay. But we're going to start out together because he reached out to me. And this is the other thing about, working with a coach is like, not only do you build the relationship with your coach, you also like have the other athletes, and you guys get to support each other, and you get to see everybody chasing their goals. And, he just said how excited he is to run this with me. And I was like, I'm excited to run this with you because I think we might both push each other in a good way. It's his first 50-mile race. He's a new father.
Yeah, brand new. I mean, baby Bo is only like 6-7 weeks old.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, and he's going to be out there doing that. So
he's only run marathons before this?
Yeah. So.
Oh God. So he's jumping into the ultras.
Yep.
What do you have to say about that?
And he's already got the bug. I mean, he wants to go longer too.
That's a question I have is, you said you want to start running 200s.
I would love to do a 200-mile race.
This is a question I always ask. Why do you guys keep going further and further and further? Why not just train harder for 100 and get a new personal best time?
I mean, that is my goal for 2026 is I am going back to Run for Kids 100. And the goal is obviously go faster. Right. Ever since I finished in 25, I was like, wow, how fast could I go on this course? And that has been replaying in my head since May 2nd.
Yeah.
But there's always that challenge of how far can your body go? And just the beautiful trails of a 200. I mean, Tahoe 200 sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
You can't get all of it in just 100 or 50. You can't see enough.
Well, there's like different locations, right?
Yeah.
I just joke.
What is another 200 that's local around here in Southern California?
San Diego.
San Diego 200. That's so the first year, right?
They have done it before,
Okay.
but they're bringing it back this year.
Got
They
it.
haven't done it the last couple years, and that one I think is in October, November. Registration opens soon.
I'm just having PTSD of some of those trails down there from the SD 50 and the Cuyamaca, the ABC 50.
And I think you get all of everything in that
Yeah.
course. So I think they're running on the roads. You go La
Oh,
Jolla,
really?
downtown San Diego, Coronado.
way.
Yeah, the course looks pretty
Oh,
spectacular. But you do get, I saw like a little video and there is some PCT section. And so
Wow. Okay, so it's mainly road.
I'm not sure what the numbers and percentages are, but there's definitely some road. There's definitely some trail. It's a mixture of everything.
That's
And
kinda
it
cool.
looks like a pretty cool race.
Yeah, San Diego's beautiful.
It's local.
Yeah.
More
Oh.
doable than
You're not
Tahoe.
going to do it. But
San Diego's beautiful. Let's go do something in another crazier location.
you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah. But, okay. so-
Another great question on here is, what do ultras teach you that shorter races don't?
I think that like the difference between shorter races, like it's more of a physical
yeah.
aspect, whereas ultras is 90% mental, in my opinion. Like you can be physically done, like in Run for Kids 100 in 2024. I couldn't run the last 30 miles. I could only walk
The last 30.
the last 30 miles. And I literally had a little toddler temper tantrum with my pacer and said, how long is it going to take me to finish these 30 miles? And she looked at me and said, yeah, it's going to take a while. Let's go, one foot in front of the other. And I just locked into the mindset of, I'm not going home without a belt buckle. So let's go get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. So like,
That's amazing how you guys are done with 30 miles left and you pushed yourself through it.
yeah.
Because Nick
Yeah.
looked like he was done with 40 miles left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I
rough.
have a picture at mile 64 of that race. I look like death. I'm literally in the medical tent having to stay there for an hour because I had started shivering and, you know, they're like, here's more
Here's a picture
calories.
Of him. We're like baby feeding him like noodles.
And in my head, I felt
Yeah.
great.
But he just like,
So I guess
he
that's
dozed
great.
off.
Yeah.
He dozed off for a minute. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And then he just got up and he's like, okay, we're going.
The power of the 5-minute nap.
Yeah.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. If I swear I had a dream in that 5 minutes too. A couple dreams
You
when
probably
Cody
did.
had me like out at the logs and he's like 5 minutes later, I was like, man, that was a great night of sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt so good. And then you're just off. You know what you mentioned about being in the medical tent, and then willing yourself back out there. To me, those are like the most incredible stories. Because there was a lady on Kodiak. She was like, I can't keep anything down. She was puke out of both ends. We'll just put it at that.
Yeah.
And she's like, this sucks. She's like, I cannot keep anything down. And I see her come out of the medical tent, and this is probably, we're 40 miles in or so. And she's like, man, she's like, I'm probably going to DNF this thing. She's like, it's just not my day. And she's like, I'm just going to go to this next aid station. Well, she passed me at Sugarloaf at mile 66. She's like, I'm still in it. And I was like,
She probably
dude,
felt better too.
yeah. And she finished that race.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that is where like real warriors are born, is when you're like at DNF's door knocking and you're like, yeah, this is it. I'm probably done, but let me just go back out there and just see what else I have in me. And then all of a sudden something shifts, right?
Mhm.
And that's where I think we realize that the mind lies a lot in a lot of these races. And you really grow so much when I would try not to let the quit thought creep into my head. But there was that moment, I think it was before we even hit the slopes. And I just thought of quitting, and I screamed so loud just because I was so mad that it even crept in there. But I didn't think about quitting until that moment. I was just in so much pain, but I could not do anything about it. Like I just, like much like yours, I had to just keep moving one foot in front of the other. And I was like, oh, no matter what, we're going to get this done. At least I had enough time to make all my cutoffs, right? To be in a position to where I wasn't chasing a cutoff at any point. I was way past the time I wanted to do, but you know, I was never in that freak out moment of like, oh, you better hurry up, because that adds another aspect of pressure where you feel like there's no way I'm going to make it. There's no way I'm going to do this. I'm just going to drop now. Yeah. So everything just had me set up in the right moment for that race. Again, thanks to having somebody who knew what they were doing. And, you know, we talked about a lot of different scenarios going into that.
Do you ever turn down runners? Like, do you ever say, I can't?
Ooh, that's a good.
work with you or?
Yeah, I mean, if our goals don't align, then, it's not a good thing because like Nick said, there are some people that have these goals, but they don't want to put in the work.
Right.
And so you don't make progress that way. If you're not going to follow the plan, then it's kind of pointless. Like, why are you going to pay me to try and help you if you don't want to be helped?
Right.
You know?
You're like, dude,
Can you
save
ever
your
tell
money.
Somebody just doesn't have it. Like,
You can
there's no
tell
way
very
you're
quickly
gonna-
and I've had a couple athletes where it's like we start and you can tell it's like not working because you do have those runners that just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, or they feel good and it's an easy day and they want to go too hard.
Right.
And it's
That was my hardest.
Can you
You
tell
know?
someone's just like doing this for Instagram? Like, I
haven't had that yet.
okay.
But yeah, there's those you mesh with and those that don't. And I'm lucky that most of the people I coach are like Nick and they're coming to you, they're paying you for a reason.
Right.
They're very dedicated. They're putting money into it. They're dedicated to what they want to do. And hopefully they're trusting of the skill and the process and, and it works. And that's an awesome thing. So
What about doing it for the wrong reasons? Like maybe I don't know. Maybe there isn't.
Is there a wrong reason?
Yeah. Is there a wrong reason to run?
I mean, I think,
Like I don't know.
I'm trying to get this girl
Really
that I
other problem?
yeah, I mean, to run 100 miles for something that's not for you, I
Right.
think
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
be really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get deep in that pain cave, there's something that happens at mile 60,
Right.
and it's almost expected and guaranteed. And if you don't know what your why is, and your why is not strong enough, you're not going to push through all that you have to push through to get to a finish line. You can get through, you can fake it and make it through a 50, but you can't really for 100.
Want to
So
fake it?
so even if you
Just fake it.
so even if they're like coming out of recovery or something, would you ever be like, there's other things you need to get through first before you're going to start this training, or would running be an outlet where you would be like,
Running could 100%
so
be
you
an
would be
outlet.
like, you need to run anyway. Like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know, I mean, especially in the ultra running scene, a
Mhm.
lot of ultra runners are recovering addicts.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, we've been
running can be a form of addiction. Like I know for me, I have a hard time taking a day off.
Yeah.
It's really hard. But because you get so used to that routine. And for me, it's my escape from, life, like
Right.
Yeah.
being a mom, being a busy mom, and it clears that noise in your head. I'm a much more patient person when I get my run in.
Yeah.
So
That's what Nick says all
it's
the
a
time.
win-win.
That's why he's still alive.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's why you came over to my house and my family's still here. And oh man.
Speaking of family life, is your husband a runner or?
No, my husband's not a runner, but ever since we've met, he's always done his weight training 4 days a week before he goes to work. He wakes up, he gets some steps in, he does run a little bit, but not like a training
I see
run.
you guys hiking out there on the trail though.
We hike a lot as
Yeah.
a family. We're a big hiking family. We backpacked this summer. We did 7 nights in the wilderness this summer in the Sierras with our boys. And we had plans to do a big 55-mile round trip with the boys, but it quickly wasn't their thing.
Yeah.
They didn't like the whole hike, set up camp, tear it down, go again. They just wanted to stay in one spot, fish, and
Right.
enjoy.
Yeah.
And so we made it what they wanted to do. Keep it fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
Are they runners too, your boys?
They do run with me. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Really?
So actually, she also does a summer camp for kids where they can run 100 miles, right, or set their distance.
So the Summer Kids Running Club, we do a challenge, and the mindset behind it started a few years ago was kids are too much on their screens these days. They don't get enough physical activity. So for me in the summer, I was like, let's do a kids running club and do a challenge where they get, the first year was just 50 miles. It was run, walk, and hike, and 50 miles got you a medal. This last year, I think 2 years ago, we did 50 and 100, and this year was 50, 100, and 200. And my little guys,
was early.
my little guys set their own personal goals on their own with no influence from me for 250 miles. And they crushed it. I think both of them got close to 300 miles this summer.
So good.
Is that like over 4 weeks? Or
That's over 10 weeks. So
10 weeks,
about 30 miles a week of running, walking, hiking. So
Just
30 miles a week.
and they're 9 and 11. So they're pretty awesome little dudes. And in fact, like, I think my little guy's goal for this year for 2026 is to do like 900 miles.
But it just shows how you guys inspired.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you set the bar, like, I mean, you just become the norm.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
They think 100 miles is normal.
Yeah.
Like, they really do. My youngest for Run for Kids, I asked him, what do you think about mom's goals? He's like, well, what happens if you finish before the 28-hour cutoff? Can you just keep running more? And I was like, why do you wish that on me?
I mean, when I watch Nick come across that finish line, it is like, dang, I wish I was doing this. Like, I wish I went through all that with him and finished.
Yeah.
Then I got over it real quick.
Someday.
Then your body rejected the thought of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
so
like,
much
no,
that you went into the hospital, and it's like, do not even think about this, Jared.
I'm going to shut down this thought right now.
We're going to shut down a kidney, and we won't think about this anymore. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it's incredible, like, having family, like, balancing that all is kind of intense, right? We talked about that, the challenge behind a lot of the time commitment, right?
Yes.
And you're out before the kids are up. You're still running when the kids are up. They see you tired. Hey, can I run with you? Can I do this? Can I do that? It's a lot, right? But there is not only growth within the runner, there is growth within the family who's really truly invested in supports, right? I've seen growth with Sully. I've seen growth with the kids, much like your kids. They're like, I think I told them about my friend running the marathon. He's like, is that 100 miles? And I was like, it's not 100 miles. They're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
They're not impressed.
It's still a marathon. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to understand. He's like, well, can I do 100 miles? I was like, not right now. Then I don't care about this.
But I mean,
Yeah.
even your influence on me, it's like when I finish a mile or 2 miles, I'm like, Nick did 100. Like, I'm just going to go run another 30 minutes. I'm going to push through this.
Mhm.
How can I not push through this last mile watching you guys do this or whatever I'm doing? You stop complaining after watching you guys.
If you have a goal, Jarrett,
My goal.
we can get you to reach that goal.
My goal is a solid
Yeah.
1 mile at a 7 under 6 minute pace.
Hey, okay,
Hey,
so
that's
that's
a
a goal.
Yeah.
Did we? Okay, we got that one marked off our script. What else do we have on our?
And
Gonna get them.
we just keep building on
I
that.
was talking about the marathon, like, from my buddy, and he was saying, like, there's no way I could do it. I'm like, dude, you did the half marathon. You could do the marathon.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy just did it without any background, any running or training. I was like, you can do it. He's like, no, I felt like miserable after. And I told him, you probably won't feel as miserable if you had a coach.
Yeah,
after.
if you train for it. Yeah. 100.
And I would love to see you run that marathon. I'm not going to go into that, right away. What I am going to do is I'm going to take another break for our second sponsor, Alethea Runs. We spend so much time tracking pace, distance, heart rate, and all these external metrics, but we don't track the thing that actually matters most, how we're moving. Alethea is a sensor that clips to your waistband and tracks the force your body experiences when you run. Not just you're running 8-minute miles, but how your body is actually absorbing impact. Whether you're braking too much, whether one leg is doing more work than the other. They call it a force portrait. And when I first saw mine, it was like, damn, this is what's actually happening when I run. This is where I'm inefficient. This is where I'm setting myself up for injury. And here's why this matters. Most running injuries don't just happen. They build over time because of the imbalances and inefficiencies we can't see. You're overstriding. You're landing too hard on one side. Your form is breaking down in ways you don't notice until something hurts. Alethea catches that before it becomes a problem. You get personalized feedback after every run. It tells you exactly what to work on, not generic advice, but your specific issues based on your unique biomechanics. I'm not saying this lightly. If you're serious about running long term, this is the tool you need, because staying healthy is how you keep showing up. Head to alethea.run and use promo code RUNSCARED10 today. All right. So make sure you check out alethea.run, and thank you to our sponsor, Alethea Run. I want to talk about, again, mental toughness. Like as we were kind of, going down that, you have kind of like a superpower of doing loops. Most people, myself included, I don't like doing loops. I still will do loops because I think there's something that is good about
loops around a track.
Oh yeah, dude, loop races. So, tell us about, your superpower of being able to have that mental toughness, especially on looped courses.
So, Run for Kids 100 is a loop course. The first year I did it in 2024 was a half-mile loop. So 100 miles, half-mile loops, 200 laps. Most people would go insane.
Yes.
But honestly, I don't know. It's not a problem for me. I just, especially in 2025, the course was 1.12 mile loops. And I just kept walking into that loop I'm in, right. Not thinking about mile 60, mile 80. Like, I'm just focused on what lap am I in right now and getting through that lap. What do I need? What's my nutrition? Oh, I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, cool. That's the benefit of a loop course, is the bathroom is always there. Yeah. That was actually my solution to my first 24-hour race was a 10K out in that course. Mm. The bathroom was only at the start line, start finish. It wasn't at the turnaround. Mm. And you're on a bike running path on a Saturday. There's nowhere to duck and go pee. You're not in the woods somewhere. Yeah. So you have to make it 10K, and late in the race, 10K is taking you over an hour. Right. And you're drinking. It's hot. It's July 1st. Like, you need to be hydrating. Yeah. And now here I'm not hydrating because I don't want to have to pee. Yeah. That's a problem. Right. That becomes dangerous. So these loop courses have their benefits. You see people all the time. You're passing people. They're passing you. Hey, good job. How you feeling? And you're getting that constant positive feedback.
Yeah. So you look at it as like not really like a challenge to make you go crazy, but like as a challenge or as kind of like a benefit to make it like a little bit easier. Because you're right. I mean, doing an out and back long distance with a bunch of aid stations in between, the planning that goes into it is a whole nother beast. Yep. Right? Where am I going to be at? Where am I doing my drop bags? Can my crew meet me here? What are they going to bring? You saw on your aspect of it of what it was like chasing me around in a UTMB format where they're shuttled on a bus and
in the middle of nowhere.
He told me, he's like, you can explain like what it felt like for you, like going to war or something.
Yeah, it feels like, what is it that
like D-Day. Yeah, like D-Day. He was about to start.
Yeah, like everybody's all quiet, it's all nervous, things are shaking. His son was like tapping on the side of the thing. I'm like, what are we doing? And when it's just completely black, and then it opens up to the lights, and everyone's just, you get off this. What's going on? I need my pack. I need this.
I know.
Yeah, it was such a experience.
They're totally different races, and like I truly believe like the trail ultras are like so much harder. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you listen to music or?
I actually listened to like one podcast in the whole 23 hours, and that was it. Like, wow. I had so many more podcasts downloaded, but I didn't use them. But I always have that kind of stuff in my back pocket. Yeah. The planning, I mean, you still have to plan for a race like that because you are your own aid station for the most part. They have supplies on course, but to go fast and efficient, like I had my own little setup, and it worked out really well.
Yeah.
How do you train mental toughness in someone? Because, that would be crazy for me to just the same thing over and over again.
I mean, mental toughness is within somebody. You can give them tips on what to do, but really that training comes in those very long runs that we do, the 30-mile runs where don't feel good, and you have to get through it, you know.
When you think you're going to run up Mount, what was the one that I did in 4 hours?
San Gorgonio.
Yeah, San G Mountain in 4 hours. And I'm like, why am I still out here for 5 hours? What am I doing? It was like, dude, that training run was definitely experiencing Kodiak when my ankles weren't working. I could not move faster than what I needed to. I was slow, and I was able to pull back on that training experience.
Yeah, you definitely during the race, you're pulling resources from all the training you've done, all your past experiences. For me, with Run for Kids 100 this year, the whole reason I was able to go almost 6 hours faster than the previous year was because I DNF'd at San Diego 100. And so a lot of what I took into the race was the lessons I learned at San Diego 100. It's like every minute does matter. What story do I want to write? And it was this focus and this fire, you know, and really, I never had a moment, a really bad low moment in that race. So I got lucky. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah. And that's where you often emphasize consistency over big efforts, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, you know, just showing up, you know, versus, oh, well, let me make up for it and just do 2 long runs. You know, that was never something that you put, I mean, if it was part of the training plan, a back-to-back long run, but, you know, you were always consistent about, you know, my speed, my strength training, my strength training, a little cool down, and then we do whatever the schedule would allow. But every single week, it was the only reason why I was successful at that 100. And just because you're seeing terrible days in training in the heat, you know, just days where you were slow, where your body doesn't even feel like going out. I mean, that's definitely where we saw a lot of that. You know, what's the biggest mistake that you see most runners make, especially if they're new or experienced?
I think that for beginners, they want to see results too fast and too soon, and they give up too easily. It's all in slow, gradual progression, staying consistent. And for those that are experienced, especially ultra runners, not taking into account the strength and the mobility, that's a huge part. And doing too many useless miles, you know, not putting in the speed work, the tempos. Just because you're running at a slow pace for hours on end, you still need to do speed work. You still need to do tempo, because if you don't push that threshold, you're not going to be running your slow pace at a faster pace than you could if you were doing it.
Yeah.
So how do you know when you're getting into useless miles?
I mean, when every run you're doing is just like a 8 mile, 10 mile zone 2 type run, you're not stressing your anaerobic and your threshold systems enough. So you do need to put that into your training plan.
Yeah. Like eventually your body gets used to something different. Like gets used to running the mile every day. And there's never a benefit. So, you know, if you go hey, I'm going to do a mile, and that's great. You're doing the mile. But if you're trying to improve and do something else, you probably should do a fast mile, a slow mile, or like a mile that has, or 2 miles, so you can get better at the 1 mile, whatever it may be, right? But yeah, I think the other thing is he noticed how buff my legs were.
All those Kodiak legs.
He started showing
all those Bulgarian squats there.
Yeah. So thanks. It was noticed. If you want somebody to notice your awesome quads, go get a coach. And I hated those days, by the way, but my quads thanked you for all that downhill running, because like I said, I did not feel it at all. I mean, it was a struggle, don't get me wrong, but it did not feel it like how I experienced it when I was training on my own. So I definitely appreciate that.
Do you work on their diet too?
I typically don't work on a daily diet, or at least I haven't in the past. But I always work on the race day nutrition. And so like the long runs that we do in the training build up, we're always focused on what kind of race day nutrition are we going for? How many grams of carbs per hour are we consuming? And nailing that. At what point can your gut not handle more carbs?
Right.
Because
at that point.
yeah. Right. And so, because it's important to know what your body can take in and what all kinds of foods. You should have a variety of foods. You shouldn't just be having tailwind and gels. If you're going 100 miles, you need some solid food at some point.
Right.
Unless you're going, 15, 16 hours, you might be able to do just liquids and gels.
Yeah.
But if you're, 25, 30 hours, you're going to want food.
Yeah.
And your body needs to be able to digest that. Just this last week or so, I actually got a sports nutrition for endurance athlete certification. So, that was fun. I learned a lot during that course, and I'm excited to be able to add more to the nutrition side of running. So,
yeah, that's the other thing I didn't do when I was training on my own. I was not, training my fueling strategy, right? Like how you have me on my long runs. I was essentially I was trying something new on race day every time I did a race because I didn't train with it.
Yep.
So, I didn't know what my body could handle as far as like input and what I could take. But then the other thing that like was great about doing that is it was like muscle memory too, right? I'm out there and I'm like, 20 minutes. Yep. 20 minutes. And I knew, okay, I really like to, from these long runs, I really like to start with this and then have this and then this. And then I can switch it up with the variation of all these different fueling strategies. And you kind of learn that along those training runs. And, again, it was just a huge success in why I think my stomach didn't have a whole lot of issues as well. I mean, I really didn't have one stomach issue that whole time. I was like crazy.
Which is, you came a long way.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot, has to do in part with that fueling strategy, and training that fueling. So yeah, it was super good, super grateful that I was able to experience that. So we're getting close to the end of our hour mark, but what other questions did you have?
That's it right now, I think.
Well, I do want to kind of ask you this, like anybody out there listening, somebody that may be feeling stuck or overwhelmed by life, maybe even intimidated by big goals, what would you want them to hear?
I would say whatever that goal is that's in your heart, you should go after it. Like it might feel big, it might feel scary, it might feel impossible, but you won't know unless you go. And I guarantee that even if you fail at your goal, you'll be glad that you went after it.
Yeah.
You won't have the regrets. But if you don't go after it, you're going to always wonder what if.
What was your...
Yeah, why should I run a marathon? Why should I do this?
What was a goal that you had set for yourself that you knew was scary? Like, obviously, the one thing I do love about working with you and like having you as my coach is I always tell people, I'm like, she's about that life, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that you put yourself in a position to try big goals that are scary. Mm-hmm. What was your big goal that you did, and what did it feel like? I
feel like my biggest goal that I went after that was super scary to me was San Diego 100. I've never been so nervous to click submit and confirm registration as I was for that race. I knew the DNF rate for that race. I knew it was high. I knew the course was hard. A 32-hour cutoff. The trails are rocky. It's hot. I always knew that chance of a DNF was there, and the goal scared me. And I did actually DNF that race. I got cut off at mile 71. I didn't make the time cut off for that aid station, and I got pulled from the course. I still look back on that race as one of the greatest races I've ever done. It's a race I'm proud of. I have no shame in wearing that shirt from that race. It also created a lot of growth, and it's lessons I will take forward in every race I do. I will know my cutoffs. I thought, hey, I'm a sub 9 hour, 50 mile runner. I'll have no problem doing 32 hours. Right. I'm not going to get cut off. That was on me. I should have known the cutoffs. I should have been more urgent to get to certain aid stations. And I spent too much time at the aid stations, and that ultimately cost me the finish. And
do you see that costing a lot of ultra runners their times, is spending a lot of time at aid stations? Because, you know, we talk about how great ultra running aid stations are, how they're like a party and it's so good. And
a full-on buffet.
Yeah.
Let's stay. It's fun. Let's hang out here.
God.
Why go run to the next aid station?
Yeah. And that was the one thing, like at Kodiak, I'm like, nope, get out of here. Go.
Yeah.
Just get out of here and go.
And I think I told you, like, no more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes per aid station. And because from San Diego's DNF, I have the mantra of every minute matters.
Yeah.
You can waste so much time. If you're spending 10 minutes at an aid station, there's 8 aid stations in a 50-mile race. That's 80 minutes. That's an hour and 20 minutes that you're spending in an aid station when you can get in and out in less than 2 minutes. No problem.
Yeah.
Some exchanges could be even more. It just depends on if you have your crew, how thoughtful you are going into the aid station. Know what you need before you arrive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're sitting there like, I don't know. Yeah. What do I need here? And you're just wasting time.
Yeah. I wasted a lot of time towards the end there. I was in a bad spot now that I think about it.
that race?
Kodiak, like as it got later on.
Wasted that much time.
I was trying to be mindful of it. You know, that was always in the back of my mind too. And it was like, don't spend as much time. But I know that there was that one
aid station where I was up in the middle of the night tracking you, and you didn't move for so long. I was getting nervous.
I think even Sully was like, okay, you need to go. And I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep there? No,
I didn't. I was just confused. I think I was just like,
it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a super long time.
What mile was that? I mean, where were you?
It was in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. ish.
Yeah, that was the one after I left you guys.
Right.
And then the next one was at like 2 or 3.
It was probably like no crew was there, and he was just hanging out.
And it was supposed to be no crew. And then Sally showed up and she was there. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. I'm so happy that you're here. You brought me an energy drink. I actually kind of need this. And then she realized I was spending too much time. She's like, you need to go. And I was like, oh yeah,
we're running a race here.
I do need to go actually. And like, it's just something about this aid station, man. You just want to sit down and, oh my God, let me just enjoy some more food here. Right. It's just so comforting, because then you're like, I got to go back out there.
there's even the saying, beware of the chair.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times if you sit, like, things go downhill from there. So like,
that's how my body is. The minute it sits down, it's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Like it's over. I would not want to sit down.
I tried to take naps at Run for Kids 2024. That's actually why I started out in the medical tent, was because I was like, oh, it's raining. I'll go take a 10-minute nap in the gym and get back at it. Well, that laying on the floor, I started shivering and all these things just started going wrong.
Right.
And next thing I knew, they're like, oh, you need to stay here for an hour and get your body, recovered a little bit before you head back out. Mm-hmm. And then same thing, San Diego 100, mile 60, I sit in the chair and it's just bad. So for Run for Kids 100 in 2025, I didn't sit one time. I sat to go to the bathroom and that was it. Right. I even looked at the chair in my aid station at like mile 85-ish and was like, just get the F out of here. Yeah. Just go.
Kick it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome.
Is training yourself different than training others? Like, is it
that's actually a really good question.
Yeah, I do think so. I definitely train my athletes way better than I train myself. Sometimes me having a coach
not as I do.
would be a lot better to have that accountability factor. But also I know my body. Yeah, like I know it better than anyone else possibly could. So
a coach would never get a coach.
No, I think a lot of coaches do have coaches.
Yeah. I was just going to say a lot of them do. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good to have that accountability.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And then also you're getting coaches for a lot of times like their strengths too, right? I mean, for specific portions, right? She's a 100-mile finisher. She knows longer distances, triathlons, things like that. So I knew, one, she was local in case something ever happened. We were able to meet up, and obviously it turned out way better than I ever expected. Having Melissa in my life, the friends with, Sully and her talking, just everything that has grown from that. But she's a 100-mile finisher. She's a 100-mile winner. And like I said, she's about that life. I'm not going to go get a marathon, a sub 3-hour marathon coach who's never ran 100 miles to be my coach.
Yeah.
Hey, can I do this? It's all specific, right? But if I want to go, qualify for Olympic trials and a marathon, I probably need to go find somebody who has
experience, experience coaching somebody who's done that.
Exactly. So there's just differences. Like not one coach is a one coach for all, right? You want to kind of look at their specifics and maybe their resume.
Right.
I think that's like key when you're finding a coach.
Well, to me, both of you guys have lost it and decided you're going to run a 200. A 200 next. Is there going to be a different training process for both of you going into that? Or you're going to train the same way as 100? Like, what's going to go into it mentally?
I mean, 200s are a totally different ball game. Right. So 100, you can run most of a 100 depending on the course and the elevation and the technicality of the trails. With a 200 mile, now you're going days and you have things like sleep. You're probably hiking more. So more hiking is built into the program. You also have to do those long days. Like you do have to put in some, 10-hour days, and you do probably need to put in some night miles of being out on the trails at night by yourself. And then with sleep, not having a sleep strategy actually is the consensus. It is like, you can say, I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m. on day 2. But if your body is not tired at 9 p.m. on day 2, you're going to sit there and waste 20 minutes, an hour trying to sleep. Whereas you're hallucinating and dead tired on the trail. Go take that 10-minute dirt nap.
Yeah.
So, but you could train somebody for 100, 200,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I would love to do a 200 someday. It's a timing thing I think for female athletes especially. It's hard when you have young kids.
Right.
It's hard to be away from the family for that long. I can go do 100 and I'm just gone, Friday night to Sunday morning, and I'm back. And my husband's awesome. I'll finish a race Saturday night and he'll be like, go spend the night at your dad's house and come home when you're ready to be mom. Because as soon as I walk in that door, I'm mom. I'm on.
It doesn't matter what you did.
It does not matter that I just ran 100 miles. I mean, to some degree, they're getting older and they understand, but you're still mom.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap this up, I know we're going to have you back. We have a lot of other things I want to talk about that we missed.
I have to ask her one more question. Why do you guys it feels like you guys always double. So you go from 50 to 100, 100 to 2, and then this guy's going to run across the state.
We haven't announced that yet.
Yeah. Why the double? Why not 100? Because that's how the races are set up.
That is in one part that's how it's set up. I mean, there is Sedona 125. So there's a jump. Okay. There's another one that's 140.
Yeah. I'm not going to go straight to the 200.
There's also, you can do 48 hours and see how many miles you can get in 48 hours. And that would probably land you somewhere in the middle of the 100 to 200.
Okay. I mean,
there's also a 300-mile race.
Yeah. I'm sure.
The one thing, this would not be the reason why I had to surprise Jarrett with my running coach being here, because as we discussed, they are unspoken arch nemesis. She didn't even know that they're arch nemesis.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
We are great friends, but I'm running because you're going to inspire me to do something that I don't want to do.
So with that being said, Melissa, how would you get this man to run, or what pitch him on something.
The bug is already trying to
pitch
spread
him.
its
This is
way.
your chance. We have him right here. He can't run away.
And she's so good she'll get on your Instagram. She's inspiring. Next thing you know, you're following her. And it's just like, oh. Then now I'm up to like 2 miles, 3 miles, and you feel it happening.
Yeah.
So that's why you're not really my arch
good
nemesis.
distance for him, and where do you think he would thrive, and what would you do to get him out there to change his mind?
I would love to see Jarrett show up to Run for Kids. Pick a time distance. I think they have a 6-hour event, and you can do as many laps, as many miles as you want, and you'll be helping an amazing cause.
Remember that time that you said
you do it for the kids?
Remember that time on season 1 when Jarrett said, the only way you're going to find me running is if I have to save a lot of kids. Well, Jarrett,
now's your chance.
Now's your chance to save some kids. When is Run for Kids?
She knows how to get in your head too. That's another thing about trainers. They know how to attack. Yeah.
So Run for Kids is April 17th through the 18th. So I'll start April 17th. I think if you did the 6-hour, you start the 18th.
With my kidney recovery.
I mean, obviously.
That's
a whole nother aspect. Yes.
No. It's almost done now.
It's almost done, huh?
I'm in recovery now.
I mean, we have like 15 weeks, so.
Yeah, that's a plenty
right there.
That's plenty of time.
Plenty of time to run a mile in 6 hours.
Or more, or more.
What would be a good, what would be a good amount of distance to finish
in 6 hours?
For someone who's
somewhere in that,
starting off now.
In that 20 to 26 mile range, 30. I think is definitely realistic.
At least
he's fast.
I know he's fast, but I also wanted to take into account the fact that he's coming back from kidney issues and building slowly.
Muscles are built for soccer. They're built for run here, stop, 3 minutes.
In 15 weeks, they'll be built for something.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Well, look, we're going to have you back on, Coach. I want to say thank you for, 1, getting me to my goal. 2, just like being so supportive and insightful during this whole process. I'm so grateful that we've become friends out of this.
Same.
It's just it's super cool. I couldn't ask for a better coach athlete relationship. I'm excited to keep going with you. Much like you said, set big, scary goals. The goals that we have set, and we're going to see what we do. And, for those listening, where can they reach you? Where can they find you if they want to have any questions about coaching, or maybe, book a consultation with you?
So I'm on Instagram at MH_ultra_coaching. Shoot me a DM, follow me. Love to chat. Consultations are always free, and I do offer 20% off for the first 4 months.
Heck yeah. And I highly, highly, highly recommend her. Just the best experience I've ever had. And as you can see, I DNF'd my first 100, and with my coach, I did it. So if that's not proof in the pudding.
And you're about to have a huge PR this Saturday. So
and see, I want to keep going. This guy said, why not get faster and faster at the marathon? So I said, let's get faster and faster at the 50 mile.
Yep. And so you're about to take a huge chunk of time off that 50 mile.
Exactly. Well, thank you for spending your time with us today, Coach. Thank you to all of our listeners for helping make season 1 so successful. We're all back. We have a lot of great things planned for season 2. Crazy, amazing interviews, cool stories that we're going to share. And this guy's back. Isn't that great? The juice.
So awesome.
Thank you for tuning in week after week. We're excited for this year. 2026 is going to be amazing. Cue that outro music.
Bitch. Happy New Year.
Who says you need to fly to reach the top? Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy the lie. I'm an odd kid, like an ostrich. I got a pod, kids, here's a topic. Blaze your own trail, don't be cautious. 2 birds, 1 stone's how I rock it. Can't make an omelet without breaking a shell. But the say grew up, now I'm raising hell. Haters gonna hate, yeah, they praying you fail. So put in the work, whether pavement paving a trail. The grades fell down, but they got to their feet. Run your own race, put this pod on repeat. Shake your tail feather, keep nodding your beaks. Ostrich gang, or you're not my peeps. Who says you need to fly to reach the top?